basically like the low cutting. It's making sure that the side chaining sits right with the groove and makes room for the kick.
But I reach far away to the other side and I hold on.
Good morning, guys. There is really nothing better than Christmas cookies for breakfast. Really good. The only thing that tops this is the huge announcement that I will do a live masterclass music production, the key to music production, at the dance fair in the Netherlands mid-February next year. And as you know, I'm doing a music producer giveaway every day up until Christmas. Today's giveaway will be 2 cards to the event and also a meet and greet. All of this coming up during this video. But as you know, my main focus for this week is finishing another song, or at least getting as far with it as possible. I started on Monday with the drums. The next day I did like the chord progression and the sound of the chords for this future bass song. And today it's actually time to take care of kick and bass. There's just one more thing. I need to take my medicine. I don't know, feeling really sick, but that doesn't stop me from heading over to the studio and make music for the entire day. Hey, welcome to the studio. Feeling instantly better just entering this room. You know how much I love this place. The only thing I love even more is making music, so let's get straight back into the song. So first, let me actually play you what we got so far. First day was the drums. Second day, the chords and the chord sound. Next up, of course, missing the bass. I already have the bass as a MIDI in the project. I just copied down the chords because the bass in this case is just like the root notes of the chords. So I just copy it, erase the other notes, and I'm left pretty much just with this very easy bass line here that just goes perfectly with the chords, of course. For future bass and a lot of other styles, this makes totally sense. If you want to have it more clubby, I would maybe separate the notes and make like maybe 16ths or 18ths out of it to just have more speed and having the bass actually being played a lot more times. For the bass sound, I've chosen the sub boom bass. Next is a compressor, the one by Logic for the side chaining. Usually I go with the LFO tool for the side chaining, but here I actually need the kick to trigger the side chain because the kick isn't hitting always on quarters or eighths. It's hitting also in between, so I need it to trigger the bass line. So whenever the kick is hitting, the bass gets reduced by the amount that you set in the threshold of the compressor. I mean, you can see it in the graph of the compressor. And the first bass line is extremely boring. It's really just like a sine wave underneath of the song to have the very, very low end covered. And as you can hear, it's actually playing an octave too high, so we'll lower it by 1 octave to get it in the right frequency range, right around where the kick sits. Yeah, that's perfect. And if you can't hear that, wear headphones or get better speakers. If you're listening to this on your phone or on your laptop, you won't be able to hear the bass. And to make sure that it doesn't collide too much with the kick, except for using the sidechain, I also added a low cut. It sits right around 50 Hertz. I might actually go up to 60. And as a quick tip, whenever you mix kick and bass, make sure that one of them is like the main part in the sub-frequency section. You can't have a big kick and a big bass. It just doesn't work. One of them has to be a little bit thinned out for the other one. If you make both big, you end up with way too much low end and your track will just sound very muddy and messy. On top of that, I've added another bass line just for the higher frequencies. This one is made with the ACE by UHE. It's a really cool modular synthesizer. I don't get too fancy with the cables and everything, but it has a really nice and gritty saw sound that is, I think, like the initial preset or the first preset. here the same. I think it's an octave too high. And this one is really just there to get that grittiness. Same here, again, low cutting it this time a lot higher. Everything is cutted that is below 124 Hertz. On top of that, again, a compressor for the side chaining, just to make sure kick and bass do not collide that much. Now both of them together. Added to that the main sound for the chords. So I think the bass line is too gritty almost, it's cutting through too much. So I can just actually lower the higher bass that has this grit to it. And that's one of the main reasons why I split up the sounds. I have a little bit more control. Let's also add the other chord sounds. And the rest of the drums. The next step on this track, since we have now the drums, the bass, the chords, we got like the main components of the song. What is missing is like the main thing, like the main melody, either chopped up vocals for this kind of style, somebody actually full on vocal singing, or you add like a main melody with a synthesizer. I'm still not sure about that, so I will now just continue working on the rest, polishing it, exchanging some of the samples, because for example in the drums, the snare isn't really a snare, it's a clap, it doesn't fit, so I will definitely change that. Kick, also not really satisfied and happy with, so I will go through it, tweak everything a little, and we'll start the first initial part of the mixing process.
I'm not alone in this world. I'm not alone in this world.
So far so good. I'm all done exchanging a couple of samples, especially kick and snare made a huge difference. Got the levels right on the main synthy sound. Some of the layered sounds were too loud. I just brought out more the main sound. With the bass, I'm still not satisfied. The snare could be better. It's still not there, but it's like 10% at least better. Let's listen really quick to the before and after. I think there's a difference. It's not the biggest in the world, but it's definitely getting better every time I'm working on it. The next would actually be to start like arranging, or at least thinking about a rough arrangement, and see what main element could actually make this track. Do I need the vocals? Do I need more melodies? Do I need a guitar? Do I need all of them and just make them appear at different sections of the track? I'm still not really sure. So I think I will just cut it for today and continue probably tomorrow or next week with this song, showing you everything about it, how I made it. If you have any questions left about mixing kick and bass, just let me know. But it's basically like the low cutting. It's making sure that the side chaining sits right with the groove and makes room for the kick, and maybe a little bit of distortion and compression on the bass just to keep it in check. So next up for the rest of the day, unfortunately business stuff, which I don't really like taking care of, but I have to, especially now right before Christmas. There's a lot of stuff I have to sort out before everyone is on vacations. Making music I can still do around Christmas, at least as long as the neighbors do not complain. I don't know, I hope they won't be here. All done with the business stuff, also done signing this contract, a very important one I'm happy about, but more about this contract tomorrow. Today I don't really have enough time to explain everything about it. Let me do really quick the giveaway. As you know, this guitar bag was part of the giveaway 2 days ago, and the winner of this bag is Enrique Vega. congrats, you got this amazing guitar back. Just PM me on YouTube or any other social media and I will send it out to you. Hope you're not living in Australia, but Enrique doesn't sound that Australian. But let's actually get to the giveaway. Today it's the 2 cards to the dance fair in the Netherlands. I think it's on the 14th of February. Let me actually look it up before I tell you something that isn't right. Yeah, you see it's on the 17th of February, but it's 14, so 2 p.m. I will give an entire masterclass on the fair showing you one of my songs in depth, 45 minutes live, and also be around the fair the entire day. 2 tickets go out to the people that subscribe, enable notifications, and comment down below Dance Fair. And if you're not one of the lucky winners, you of course can get tickets. I think they're like 30 bucks per day, 60 for both days. I will be there just on the Saturday, the entire day, walk around, so there is a high chance to meet me, hang out a little, talk about music. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions about kick, bass, mixing, just leave it down below and we will see us tomorrow back again here in the studio. Hopefully continue working on the song. Not really sure. You never know. It's a daily vlog. I don't know. I don't plan my days that much. Whatever happens that day, happens that day. So don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll see us tomorrow again. I shouldn't do that. This camera isn't even mine.
I'm not alone in this world. I'm not